Top stories at this hour. The death toll from the Gwoza attacks in Borno State has risen to 32, while 26 of the 42 injured victims are still receiving treatment. Now, that's according to the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, who conveyed the President's condolences to the people of Gwoza town and Borno State at large. The Vice President, who was in company of the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Babagana, as well as Senator Ali Ndume, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, security heads, amongst others, also made a personal donation to all the victims of the attacks.
Gwoza said one life lost in cold blood is as gruesome as millions lost in a pogrom. Our hearts goes out to the victims. So far, we have recorded 32 deaths. 42 were brought in from Gwoza. About 14 have been discharged. About 26 are currently receiving attention. And I want to use this forum to most sincerely register our profound gratitude to the Borno State government, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the State Emergency Management Agency and ICRC for rising up to the challenges of the times and giving their best in terms of support. The House of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is with the victims, and he specifically instructed us to come and offer our condolences and commiserations to the victims of this incident. We are here with the Director General of NEMA, with the Minister of Agriculture, with the Minister of Transportation, and of course, the Chief Whip of the Senate is a son of the soil from Gwoza, so he was here since yesterday. And the acting governor had been working around the clock to provide succor and support to the victims.
Well, that's the Vice President and the former Governor of Borno State visiting home under those circumstances. But in response to the bombings, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kaide Ekbetokun, has deployed additional personnel and resources to Borno State to bolster security, prevent further attacks, as reassures residents of the police obligation to their total safety and security. Well, this was made known by force spokesperson Olumuyiwa Adejobi, who added that the MPF Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit, in collaboration with the Nigerian Army EOD unit, is actively engaging in clearance operations to ensure that no further threats infiltrate any part of a state or its neighboring states. And the Northern Senators Forum has condemned what it described as horrific and devastating the violence and attack on Gwoza community in Borno State, which resulted in 32 deaths so far. Well, the forum equally saluted the unwavering courage and dedication of medical teams, rescue workers, and the Nigerian Army, who responded with valor and selflessness in the face of adversity. The chairman of the Northern Senators Forum, Senator Abdulaziz Yar'Adua, in a statement vowed that the forum will seek justice and hold accountable those responsible for the vile acts. Well, it's a success for the nation's security forces. On the other hand, 70 Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists have been killed by troops on the multinational joint task force in the ongoing Operation Lake Sanity. In a statement by the chief spokesperson of the MNJTF, Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi, the terrorists were chased by the Nigerian troops and they ran into Chad Republic, where they met their death. The MNJTF extends its appreciation to the Chadian armed forces for their invaluable cooperation and support in the fight against terrorism. Also acknowledges the vital contributions from other troops contributing countries, including Operation Emergence for Cameroon, Operation Hadinkai, Nigeria, Sector 4, Niger, which they say were instrumental to the success. Well, and to the big and shocking story coming out of River State, the Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted a shipment of what it calls assorted arms and ammunitions originating from Turkey and estimated to be worth billions of naira. Speaking to journalists at the Onne port in River State, the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adini, revealed that the 40-feet container with registration number MAEU 165396 originated in Turkey, and that the service had it under surveillance all the way till it berthed at Onne. 8 other seized containers containing codeine, infused cough syrup, medication, and other contraband goods were also displayed, while their contents were handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA.
The suspicious container was subjected to thorough physical examination. The result reveals the following alarming contents. Number one, we had inside the container 844 units of assorted rifles, 10 units of Venom Caron gun makers Georgiev Magnum silver pump action rifles, Sterling high-quality live ammunition in 34 gram category, 34 to 35 plastic shotgun shells, 70 mm.
And over to the courts now, where Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court Abuja has dismissed the fundamental human rights suit filed by the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kano, against the federal government. Mr. Kano sued the Attorney General of the Federation and the Department of State Service for 1 billion naira in damages for alleged rights violations, claiming that the DSS and its DG violated his rights to fair hearing by allegedly preventing his lawyers from having unhindered interactions with him while he was being detained in preparation for his defense in his criminal charges. While delivering judgment, Justice Omotosho held that Mr. Kano failed to provide credible evidence to sustain his claims. And amidst a recent leadership tussle rocking the local government areas in Rivers State, particularly the leadership of those areas, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission has now announced October the 5th for the conduct of the local government elections. The announcement was at a stakeholders meeting at the Commission's premises in Port Harcourt, the state capital. A total of 16 political parties were present at the event. However, conspicuously absent were executives of the PDP and the APC. Now, a former member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Mark Miller, is urging the House, that's the Committee on National Security, to make public its findings on investigation into the faulty presidential jet, which caused the president to fly a chartered plane during an international trip in May. Mr. Miller believes that the issue with the president's jet could have been caused by a lack of maintenance, especially since the lifespan of the aircraft is still within the allowable limit. Well, it was a Black Monday for the people of Kano and Kaduna states in northwest Nigeria as a road crash at the Dengwaro flyover along the popular Kano Zaria Road claimed the lives of 25 persons, leaving 53 others injured. The Federal Road Safety Corps Kano Sector Command confirmed the tragic event, which occurred at 3:30 a.m. A trailer with registration number KMC 311ZB reportedly lost control due to overspeeding. The trailer with 90 individuals on board crashed, resulting in significant casualties and injuries. 12 persons, however, survived the incident. Well, let's talk business now. Nigeria's money supply, that's M3, has surged to nearly 100 trillion naira, hitting a new peak of 99 trillion naira in May. The latest money and credit statistics data from the Central Bank of Nigeria reveals a month-on-month increase of 2% from 96 trillion naira the previous month and a year-on-year growth of 78% from 55 trillion naira in the same month of the previous year. Well, this is coming as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Solayemi Cardoso, said that rising transaction volumes by non-banks threaten financial stability in the West Africa region. Well, the U.S. Supreme Court has said Donald Trump, as former president of the U.S., and other former presidents are partially immune from criminal prosecution in a major legal victory for the Republican White House candidate. The 6-3 ruling did not outrightly dismiss an indictment that charges Mr. Trump with plotting to overturn the 2020 election, but it stripped away a key element of the case against him. The decision makes it less likely that the Republican candidate will stand trial in the case before he challenges Democratic President Joe Biden in November's White House election. And as sports news now, Diogo Costa's penalty heroics helped Portugal reach the quarterfinals of the Euro 2024 against Slovenia after a tough encounter just last night. You see Portugal forward Ronaldo breaking down in tears at first after missing a penalty in the first period of extra time in the goalless tie in Frankfurt. But he recovered to convert in the shootout as Portugal scrapped through to set up a blockbuster clash with France in the quarterfinals. France reached the quarterfinals of Euro 2024 after winning 1-0 in a tight contest with Belgium in Düsseldorf. Now they see the French players excited. That match, by the way, was before Portugal-Slovenia. They didn't even know who they were playing with, but now they're sure it's going to be Portugal and France.